The next thing that comes into mind is, okay, are my problems being solved by RWD? Right? What is the advantage of making your site responsive? Why not go for native apps? That is one thing we have always come across. Which is the best suitable approach, or which is the best suited solution for my problem? So that all depends on your problem, basically, your use scenario. We do see that the browsers, we are using RWD on the basis that the browser supports HTML5 and CSS3 properties. But in most of the cases, if you handle browsers, if it's an old, the users are using IE6 and all that, it is going to be a tough job for you. You'll have to use a lot of plugins, enhancements to and additions to actually solve all those problems. And if the target is only IE6, then why go for responsive? Why not just, if it's a Windows app, for example, and if your target is only Windows devices, or then why not just go for a native app? Okay, you can use a combination of that, basically, but at the same time, RWD is not always enough or not always the solution. Okay? But at the same time, native is also not the only solution that you have. So you can always think about your problem, your business scenario, the cost effectiveness of doing RWD and doing native app, and then accordingly decide. Then we have device capabilities. Let's say your app wants to make usage of cameras and all that stuff. And it is intended basically for mobile phones. If it's just one platform that you're going to render, then why? Again, you can just think of a native app. Secondly, performance. We just had this point in the previous slide, wherein you have to consider the performance also. So if once you start with RWD, make sure that you do not degrade the performance of the site. And we have already discussed the techniques, which are progressive enhancement and conditional and lazy loading.
We have experienced is we make a site responsive and we make it look like an app on your iPhone. And when the transitions, what from a business point of view, from a user's point of view, they are not interested on what technology you have used. They are interested, they get a same user experience like they are using an app, right? Yes. So if you are expected for your site to work like an app, then why not go with that approach itself? So basically decide this when you're analyzing, when the requirements come, not when you have made your site responsive and now the user says, oh no, it's not working for me.
There is an additional work to be done for that, like to give the native feeling, or you have to handle all that at all places. There are certain frameworks available, platforms available, which actually enable you to develop your app using HTML5, CSS3, and it is the responsibility of the platform to actually bundle it and export it as either like any of the native apps, be it iPhone app or the Android app.
But then it's an overhead.
Yeah, that's again a different scenario. That none of these are freely available, so that's again a cost consideration. So you can make use of certain things. Like let's say once you know that you are going to do it with RWD, you would find browsers which actually don't support a couple of things. So Response.js, for example, IE6. So it actually acts like upgradation for your browser's capability. So if you think that you are going to use and your targeted users are using IE6, you could use Response.js to improve that effect. Modernizer is to identify what capabilities your browser has. Then there are certain certain frameworks that actually do the job of, the boilerplate code is actually provided by these frameworks. You don't have to go and code by yourself. You have Bootstrap, Skeleton, Foundation. But with these, you have to be very sure that it actually fits your business requirement. If not required, we would suggest have the control with you instead of giving it to the frameworks. Yes, sometimes it reduces a lot of, it may help you in increasing your productivity, at the same time reducing the time to develop an app.
For this, I can just share an experience. Again, it's like two weeks back, there was a spike site which I had to do, right? And I was asked the time I will require to make it responsive. Use Bootstrap, use whatever you want. Using Bootstrap, you get things with itself, right? And also it depends on the designs. If I've got a design which is just not matching with what it is providing, and I have to go and override in CSS. So that is more, it will take more time. Rather, I know what are the basic things. So it all depends on the situation you are in, the designs you have got, the time you have got, and how comfortable you are with these frameworks. Then you can use them.
Yeah. So, yeah, you could also use jQuery Mobile, which while developing your apps for mobiles, responsive apps for mobiles, not native apps, but responsive apps. And yeah, the last thing is about the references. So these are we have referred to a lot of blogs and stuff for this one. And the most important one is the Lister part, which was actually the origin of RWD. Okay. So that's basically it about RWD that we have to share with you all, our experiences and the techniques or the combinations we used for while developing our sites. The example given here about the demo, the FreeSim site, is something that we started with for RWD and combined a couple of things into it, like server-side detection, then no script tags, and then deciding on what kind of journeys can help us, serving all types of customers, basically low-end phones, low bandwidths. So
with around 20 devices on the table, you have to make your site work, basically.
All of them. Okay. So either we actually, with respect to the presentation, yeah, that is it. If anybody has any queries, any doubts, or then if anybody wants to do some practice around, we have a template with us. You can take the template with you now and take the static fixed template and make it responsive.